The views and opinions expressed by guests and or comments are those of the persons who submitted them and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of In the Clutch Sports Talk and More podcast. Any content provided by guests are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company of any individual or anyone or anything. Welcome to In the Clutch Sports Talk and More podcast. I am your host, D. Early. I am joined by M. Clear. What it do, Clear?
McClear.
McClear.
Don't start. We're not going to start, Terry, with M. Clear, okay? Thank you, sir.
And everybody already know who that is at the bottom. The
You
most
already know.
infamous person, T. Will.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man?
Hey,
Sensational Saturday to everyone.
Sensational Saturday. I like that.
We some months behind on this, but we following up from our NFL prediction show where we predicted our team's records. I'm San Francisco, M. Clear, Pittsburgh Steelers, and of course, everybody know T. Will, Dallas Cowboy fan.
For life.
So we made predictions on what each one of our team's record would be, and we made predictions on who would be in the NFC and AFC championship game, and we made a prediction on who would actually go to the Super Bowl and our Super Bowl winners. Needless to say, we got some contenders, but we had no winners.
No, we had no winners, but me and Clear got a close second. We got one participant in there, so
Is that a shout out at me?
no. I mean, if you take it as a shot,
Yeah, I do. I'll take it though.
it was though.
It was.
Yeah.
So, who want to kick it off? Want me to kick it off?
Kick it off.
Yeah.
Let's get started, man. These folks been waiting for months and months, man. We got to get this ball rolling.
I did terrible. Let me just say that right off the bat. D. Early's picks. Of course, you can see I had the San Francisco 49ers winning the Super Bowl. We didn't even come close. I had the Dallas Cowboys at 10-7, which I had the right numbers. I just had them in the wrong order. They finished 7-10. I had the Pittsburgh Steelers 11-6. 10-7. So that wasn't too bad right there.
Yep.
That wasn't too bad. I had San Francisco 13-4. Do I need to put it up? The San Francisco 49ers finished 6-11. So I was way off, but it was justifiable. We had injuries, we had holdouts. Don't laugh, Terry. We did. Come on now. I mean, we did, right?
We had injuries too, but I ain't finna blame mine on the injuries.
Okay, so as you can see, D. Early, yeah, I didn't do too good, but I'm gonna make up for it this next year whenever we do it. Man, it's terrible. That's terrible. Terrible, man. Terrible for San Francisco this year.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
It's okay though. We'll regroup. Which one of y'all want to go next?
It don't matter.
Good. It don't matter. Let's put them up.
We put Clear up.
All right. I went out on the limb because of oh man. Terry talked. I'm gonna be honest. Terry talked to me about this. Clear, you crazy. I said, well, y'all little league over there, man. I think, you know what I'm saying? That's a damn toss-up with everybody but Philly. Y'all could easily come in second and you'll fuck around and beat Philly, but it didn't happen. I had the Cowboys going 11-6. That was just, I don't even know why I did that. They went 7-10. They really won probably one or two more games than they probably should have won. But that's me talking
about it.
I'm just saying. I mean, I picked us to go 10-7. We went 10-7, but it was an ugly 10-7.
Good. Okay.
You got that one right on the dot.
You got that right on the dot. Yeah.
You can't get no better than that.
And then we go with D. Early, and of course we went 11-6 with D. Early. We had this big debate Terry and I and T Will, T Will and Darryl about this Brock Purdy dude and all of that. And I kind of bought it a little bit, and then the A's go 6-11. I never picked Brock Purdy in nothing again.
I
So,
mean,
those are my picks, and I think I had who I had win the Super Bowl, Baltimore.
We
Philly and Baltimore.
ain't on that section yet, sir.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My bad, T. Will. My bad.
Okay.
Go ahead.
he just
It's on you, baby.
I said I because it's on here, so I did have I had San Francisco on mine, so he just repeating what I did.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. But I apologize.
No, you good. You good. Let's go. Let's get with it.
So clear. He did. I would say he did better than I did. He did better than I did.
Oh yeah,
without question. Now,
well, he did good with picking his own team.
Well, I think we should though.
No, that's what I'm saying. He perfected picking his own team. That's and to me that kudos. Who knows your team better than you? So I have to give him kudos for that one.
And you see how he set that stuff up clear.
Well, I mean,
you see, no.
I gotta take it for what it's worth, man.
No. He gave you credit because he finna turn around and try to take credit. But he okay. Let's go to T.
I don't know what he gonna do till he.
I know what he. I've been around this guy long enough. He gave you a compliment for a reason.
Wow. Well, like I said, on mine, Dallas Cowboys 8-9, and I actually gave them an additional win. I saw a 7-10, but I gave them an 8-9. You see, they went 7-10. So I mean, how close could you? I told you we would suck. I was a realist. I told you, and I said even with the guys on the panel trying to pump me up and y'all being the Dallas Cowboys, that'll get you 2 more, or that'll do this and that'll do that. I wasn't buying it, and as you can see, we totally sucked this year and deservedly so. And to make the crazy part about this is we are arguably, well, I ain't gonna say the worst, but with some of the acquisitions that the Giants made, we could arguably be the worst team in the division. We could arguably be, and that's not normal for the Dallas Cowboys. But
that's deep there, though, Terry.
Yeah, you got Washington and Philadelphia. They're way better than us. Yeah. Who's left? It's the Giants, and to me, they've made some solid. We'll talk about it later. A couple off-season moves and stuff, and we lost a few people, so we'll talk about that later. But again, I figured we was going to suck, and there you have it.
I'm gonna give you your credit, Terry, because you was adamant about it, and I was the one saying, man, no matter how they look, some kind of way, even when you look back the previous years, how did they pull out them 12-4 and 12-5 season? I just knew some kind of way they was gonna pull it out, and you just kept saying, Darryl, not this year. So I give you your credit for that. You did. I don't know. You did.
And it hurted me to do it, but I'm just saying, I just felt it, man. I just felt it. But like I said, we'll get more deep into that. But while I'm giving myself kudos for that, I'm sucking on the. Well, I guess I wasn't too far off the Steelers. I was 2 games off. I picked them to be 8-9. They was 10-7. So I mean, do I get a little bit of credit for being 2 games off? So that wasn't that bad.
No, one game off.
I give you a little credit. No, you did. Well, I'm gonna give him credit because he did. If I recall, he did have a toss-up game with us in there, but he went the other way. So I give him that.
I give him 1 game. I ain't giving him 2,
and that's fine. That's fine.
He said he was gonna have a losing season.
Yes, and with the San Francisco 48ers, I picked 11-6. And I still feel good about my picks with San Francisco, but with the early season injuries and the performance of Brock Purdy, there's no way that they shouldn't have been somewhere close to win at least 10 games. So even though I was way wrong on that one, it was definitely some reasons why that they were the way they were.
Come on now. Ayuk didn't play, Greenlaw didn't play, McCaffrey out the whole season. Come on, man. You wasn't. I mean,
that's a big hit.
Yeah, but we lost Dak, pretty much the whole season. So, and we had a I ain't gonna say a second tier running back because I think he actually did good this year, especially going towards the end of the year. So, uh, and as far as our defense regressed, Darryl was trying to pump me up with the defense coordinator, and he's not the answer. He's not the answer.
yeah.
He's not the answer. And as you can see, is he gone?
Y'all gonna keep him?
No, I'm asking you, is he still there?
As far I ain't heard nothing different.
And that's bad. That's bad. The guy, the diehard Cowboy fan is asking, some other people, do we still have a coach? That was how much I was disengaged this year. I couldn't do it. I'm one of those people watching TV, and you know how you can sort of tell during the game if your team gonna win or not. You can tell if they're gonna be able to compete or if they're gonna wet the bed. And I just felt that,
So you don't think the defense played a little better toward the end of the year, especially that number?
Yeah. They had their times. Yeah.
Number 13, is that the young fast dude?
Overseen. Yeah,
him. Yes.
Yeah, but look what happened.
Yeah. I mean, I know he got an injury. I'm talking about before the injury. I mean,
he was lights out. He was lights out. Yeah, we played a little bit better closer to the end of the year and all that, man. But sort of like you guys, man. Even though I didn't pick us to do something, even with a healthy team, I think they did damn good to win 7. I really, 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 really do. And our backup quarterback, he came in there and filled in pretty good, and I don't know. It was just a rough season, and I sort of see that for the next few years to come.
I don't know
y'all
about.
went got your new coach though, Tier. You don't think that's gonna help you?
He's not the answer, man. We continue to make the wrong decisions, man. All our stuff, man, goes from leadership. Y'all got good leadership. The 49ers got good leadership, and the Steelers got good leadership. That's something we've been lacking, man. And everything starts from the top going, and it works itself down.
Absolutely.
And y'all teams, as much as I hate both of them, they well ran, and I would trade to get y'all stuff over there with us to get some leadership over there, man. It's more about than having that star on your helmet, and I just think that the culture over there with Dallas, man, that they feel like just because they got the star on their helmet, that people gonna bow down and bow down to them and think they're entitled and all that. I just don't think it's enough discipline on there for us.
It really ain't, but hey, I love it.
I hate to say this, but I agree. I hate to say that, but I agree with you, Doc. It's y'all got a lot of turmoil going on, and it starts with that older gentleman over there that own y'all program. So he has to get out the way in order for y'all to get to that next level again. To me,
and
he don't get out the way. Then you got McCown, what's his name, Mike Parsons. He's sitting up here crying now. You got stars talking about. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah. But the crazy part about this is I heard it out the horse's mouth, and they asked him, is it a chance that he would relinquish his general manager duties?
Absolutely not.
He said no. He said, I'm gonna die with this job. That's pretty much what he said.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said, this is my team. He said, go ahead.
When you're the owner, you can do that.
Oh yeah.
So hey. But we'll talk about that a little later. Let's move on. Regular season, we didn't do too good. Postseason, okay. AFC division. Terry, you had Baltimore and Houston making it to the AFC championship game. Mike, you had Baltimore and Houston. Both of y'all had Baltimore and Houston. Both of y'all had Baltimore going to the Super Bowl. Both of y'all had Baltimore winning. I did just as bad as y'all did. I had Baltimore and Cincinnati, with Baltimore going and losing to San Francisco. So looking at this bracket, is it anything that surprises you at all?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's one.
Baltimore losing. Shit, yeah. I
That's
thought
that.
I'm gonna
That's
still
not.
to this day think Baltimore had the better team out of all them.
And,
To me, personally.
that's not the most surprising thing in there. I'm surprised you don't see it, because if you go back, and I know y'all gonna say he didn't say that. Go back and look at our pregame show. Who did I tell you the team to look out for over there in the AFC?
You kept crying about Houston.
No, I said Houston was good. Yeah, I had Houston going in there, but I said that look for Buffalo.
Yeah.
I said Buffalo. I said Buffalo. I said, now I know y'all gonna sit up there and say that they lost their wide receivers and this and that and all that and all that. I said, man, but I'm telling you, because that's when I was a real Josh Allen. I kept pushing for him, and I think y'all said y'all weren't just a big fan of his, and everybody was trying to make him the darling of the league and all that. I said, man, but I'm telling you, man, he's one of those guys like Tom Brady used to. He didn't have too many star wide receivers outside of Randy Moss. He had possession receivers, but Buffalo did an outstanding job. And to me, Buffalo, did the most with the least. I was very, very impressed with it. That was a great coaching job. With a pretty new, different offense that what they usually haven't in the past and all that type of stuff, and with the running game and the coaching and that who turned out to be the MVP, Josh Allen, man, that's the biggest surprise to me over there in the AFC.
If you look at it, if you look at the seedings, that's why that number one seed is so important. Could put Buffalo over there at the number one seed.
They get to the championship game.
I don't know.
Anyway, they could have possibly made it to the Super Bowl, because you got to think then that would have been Kansas City down here playing Denver, and then Kansas City playing Baltimore to go to the AFC Championship game.
Well, let me ask you something. Y'all might remember this better than I do. But didn't Buffalo have the number one seed in the last couple of years, and Kansas City went to Buffalo and beat them and still went to the Super Bowl, even with the home field advantage?
I
may be wrong, but I just had a feeling.
2 years ago they did. I know 2 years ago they was the number one seed.
Yeah. So to me, Kansas City travels well and all that. But I agree with Darryl on this particular year. If the game was in Buffalo, I think Buffalo could have got it. That's probably gonna be their best chance.
They almost had it still.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over to the NFC. For the NFC, Terry, you had Philly and Green Bay going to the NFC Championship game. Mike, you had Philly and San Francisco, and I had Philly and San Francisco. I had San Francisco going to the Super Bowl to play Baltimore. Mike, you had Baltimore going to the Super Bowl to play Philly. And Terry, you had the same thing, Baltimore and Philly in the Super Bowl, with Baltimore winning. So we all did good with the Philly pick.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
So who was your guys' surprise team over here in the NFC this year?
Again, I'm going to give you credit because you was kind of hyping up Detroit. So they ended up with the number one seed. So the surprise.
I don't think Detroit was a surprise, though.
To get the number one seed?
Detroit was there. They come back last year. Last year they was just as good.
I don't think they was number one good.
They wasn't a surprise to me. I really wouldn't.
They weren't a surprise to me either. But I mean, I still felt like that they was gonna. Well, I ain't gonna say number two seed because because I picked Green Bay. But they were a good 3 seed that I know that could compete. But that's not even my surprise. Over there, the NFC got 2 surprises to me this year.
I would
2.
say Washington.
No, 3.
Washington.
Tampa is 1.
Washington is 1. Tampa is 1. And to me, the biggest one of all, to me, is the Minnesota. Minnesota went into the season without a freaking quarterback. Went into it without a quarterback. Defense was subpar coming into the season. It wasn't like that people talked about them as a top defense. They gelled so good together, and to go with that great coaching, and their receiving core was, to me, outstanding. Outside of Detroit, probably the best wide receiving core in the NFC. With Addison and the top guy, and I mean in the wire in the tight end and stuff. So to me, Minnesota really, really, I don't want to say, I do want to say overachieved. They overachieved. No one saw Minnesota winning 13, 14 games. Nobody.
I agree with you on that.
If they did, they if anybody that saw that, they got paid this year if they bid it on it.
And that's what I was telling y'all.
Nobody saw that.
Imagine you going into the season, and even though Detroit won Detroit had the better record, but just say if at the beginning of the year, Minnesota would have had so many odds, you could have put $20 and won a fortune with Minnesota. I would love to go back and see what the odds were for them to have the best overall record over there in the NFC. I bet you it's some crazy odds.
I'm sure it was. I mean, with them not having, their thing was bringing in the rookie, J.J. McCarthy, right? That was the plan, and he got hurt. And then you had to go to Sam Darnold, which I think I said it, that I think Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than he's shown based on the teams that he played for. Now he played good with Minnesota, and he kind of turned back into a pumpkin toward the end of the year. But I give you that. Tampa Bay somewhat not really, just based on their division. That don't shock me too much. But Detroit being number 1 does. The Rams crept back in there. I wasn't expecting that either, to be honest.
And you know what?
Y'all let them back in there.
Detroit, their best quality is their worst quality. I mean, I love the way the guy coaches, Dan Campbell coaches that team, but it can hurt them as well.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I mean, I don't like it. You remind me of what they call them, Riverboat over there down there at
Rivera.
Riverboat Run. But it's gonna bite you sooner or later, and it bit him. It actually bit him. I mean, I love it. I think the fans love to see that that he's not a conservative guy. And 8 out of 10 times he was successful, but those other 2 times was at the wrong time.
Yeah, but it's like with Rivera, it was more like, okay, do we kick the field goal or do we go for this? I mean, this guy like 4th and 5 in their own territory, going for it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I ain't get that one.
Yeah,
that was one call I never understood on that one.
But see, it's good when it worked, but it's bad when it don't.
But you know why he consistently did it like that too? Because he know he got the offense. In order to beat them, you're gonna have to score 30 points. He's banking on his offense alone to score 30 plus. So he's sitting up there saying, hey, man, I'll go for it because I got the kind of team that can put up points and put up points in a hurry. So I get he was basing it off of the personnel that he had, but it ended up biting him. But we also got to give him credit too. They had a couple of bad defensive injuries, man, early in that year.
They say the whole secondary.
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt. That man lost a lot on defense. So for him to get where he was with that defense, which means he had to depend on his offense more, and the offense came through. But you know, when it comes down to playoffs, man, defense is going to help you win championships.
That's
And
what win 'em.
he just didn't have it. He just didn't have it, and he lost his top defense. What, Aiden?
Yeah.
It was an Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
He lost his top guy 6 games into the season. And then, like Daryl said, he lost his entire secondary, throughout the course of the second half of the season. So kudos to Detroit. I know they don't feel too happy about it because this is the year they expected to win it all. And in fairness, I think if they were healthy, I couldn't probably disagree with it.
Well, I can say the same thing about the 49ers. If we was healthy, we might have would have did a little bit better. I don't know.
We all would say that, though.
Yeah, but if you look at it, Detroit just ran into that buzzsaw called the Washington Redskins and Jaden Daniels. I mean, when you start talking about, okay, you got to score points against this team and that team, you didn't go into the season thinking, okay, we're gonna have to outscore the Washington Redskins. I think everybody thought they would be better just based on getting what we would call a legitimate quarterback. But I don't think nobody saw them running all the way to the NFC Championship game his first year.
Man, Washington hit the jackpot. Then they do it with the coach that we to our former coach, man. I don't know how when people leave the Dallas Cowboys, they do so much better.
How about they free the coach?
Uh-oh.
Look,
how about their hands ain't tied? How about they free to be who they are when they're coaching?
Man, look,
I think y'all tie some people hands over there, man, for real.
If you think you trying to poke the bell, poke me, because I agree with you, brother.
You ain't getting poking the bell. I'm just saying, if you really look at the history of the Cowboys and the changes that they make in coaching and all that, you're right. The majority of them has gone on, whether they were D coordinators, O coordinators. It's just amazing how they can leave and flourish in other folks' programs. But you try to figure out, man, all that damn talent y'all have in Dallas. Why Kellen Moore couldn't call plays like he called in Philly?
I'm gonna do one better than that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do one better than that. I'm calling it before we even get started on our pregame show for next year. This is gonna be my bold call of the year. Kellen Moore goes over there and take over the New Orleans Saints, and in his first year, they're gonna have a better record than the Cowboys next year. That's gonna be my bold prediction going into next year.
Who the quarterback over there?
I don't care.
Talking about with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't be surprised them some guns don't move up in this draft now. I'm just saying. And
they might. But what I'm saying is,
don't be surprised if they don't move up and get them a quarterback in this draft.
Kellen Moore got better and better over there with Philly as the year went on. They sort of struggled just a little bit with the offense. But I'm telling you, the guy is a great X's and O's and trick plays and all that. He got complacent over there at Dallas at the end. To me, I thought that he was trying to take his job over there because he was trying to get the coach fired so he can take over at Dallas. Because when he first came to Dallas, that's all we were talking about, how great his IQ was and the trick plays and the different stuff and the keeping defenses off balance and all that. And during the last few games of his tenure, we start sucking. We became predictable and all that. I'm like, he can't lost it. He's young and I really think he was trying to cost the quarterback. I mean, the coach's job to take it over in Dallas. And when they found out Dallas wasn't going to hire him, I just think over there with New Orleans, with the running back system and the way they play with the short passes and not worrying about anything deep and all that, I think he's going to do wonders over there with New Orleans.
So let me ask you this. If Dan Quinn would have stayed in Dallas, you think he would have got the head coaching job this year?
I think they would have gave it to him.
Do you think it would have made a difference?
Not one bit.
Oh, okay. So he did right to leave.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
happy for him. I'm happy for him
I mean, yeah, I mean, he had
because
to do what he had to do. So I ain't mad about that either.
and not only that, Daryl, give him credit because, like you said, no one expected them to get to that game and the NFC Championship and lose it like that. But can you imagine being a new coach of a new team, of a new organization, with a new scheme, with a new quarterback, and to make it that far? So, I mean, you got to give him some kudos. You got to give him some kudos for that.
uh,
And the players love to play for him.
I give him credit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I look. All it tells me is all that hype y'all got in Dallas is just what I just said. Hype. It ain't. Sometimes it ain't the coaches. Sometimes it's just the players.
Oh, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
okay, I hear that a lot. There, it's just the play. I hear that a lot. What people say is just the players, but I mean, what's the coach job? That's your job. To get that player to play to that level, right?
Yeah, but
So it's kind of a mixture. I think it's the player and the coaches, because I think the coach job is to get him to play. That's your job.
But
Now,
Daryl just
go
told you.
out and perform. I get that too.
But Daryl you just answered Daryl's question. Daryl said, if that's what you're saying, he couldn't get the Cowboys to do it, but he can go over there to the Redskins and get them to do it.
Yeah,
So
he can get
they
them
let
to
you
do
know
it.
it's the players. It's the players, dude. I told you they feel entitled because they feel like we can walk in the stadium. We got this star on our helmet. We are America's team, and people are going to bow down to it. You already
Well,
got a bullseye on you because folks hate the Cowboys. So you're going to have the sorriest teams in the league playing at their best when it's time to play the Dallas Cowboys. There's no easy games for the Dallas Cowboys. None.
Let's okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's finish off with KC somehow, some way managed to do what they did during the regular season and make it back to the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. And when we start talking about greatest of all times, that's why I think sometimes that conversation is premature. I still say Joe Montana. Some will say Tom Brady, which you got to give Brady his props. He got 7 Super Bowl rings.
Mm-hmm.
But to try to anoint Patrick Mahomes as the best to ever play, and he ain't even caught Joe Montana yet, is ridiculous to me. And I don't
best to ever play right now.
I mean, if you want to say, if you want to say he the best quarterback in the league right now, I'm okay. That's fine. I give him
that. What I'm saying, I will give him the best right now with what he's done in the last 5-6 years. I would say yeah.
If you look at it this year though, he didn't really put up no spectacular numbers.
Hey, but ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. He had one of the top 10 worst offensive lines this year. Number 2, look at his wide receivers. They've been plug and play all year. He started off with an injury to the what's his name, the rookie, the first game of the season where the guy got hurt and the one that's been in trouble.
Steve Rice.
Yeah, he started off with him. You in the offseason, you went out there and picked up the wide receiver for Baltimore.
Hold on. Hold on. What did you say about Tom Brady earlier? He never had a what receiving crew?
Dude, it's a difference between injuries and going into it with a subpar. Tom Brady didn't have injuries like Kansas City did with their wide receivers. Hollywood Brown didn't come back until late after midseason, and they just picked him up and spent some good money on him as a free agent to come in. Rashid Rice got into trouble, and then he was in that accident. You lost him. You got a declining tight end that's dating a superstar. So I still think when you get through talking, he did a masterful job with what he had to work with that offensive line and the wide receivers going back and forth. He did a masterful job.
But when
he got him to what he needed to get to.
But when Brock Purdy,
whether he threw for 3,000 yards or whatever the numbers, he got him there. To me, that's a sign of a great quarterback. You don't always have to put all the numbers up. Brady
it-
ain't always put the numbers up like that.
It was some luck and some questionable
Well,
calls
that
that
comes
got up
with
there
it.
too.
A lot of that come with it.
But
Yeah.
the point I want to make is everything you just said about them, Terry, is the same thing that happened to Brock Purdy, but you don't give him credit for anything that he do.
You ain't hear me say on this show not one negative thing about Purdy. I ain't saying like that. That's you want to get all that stuff out. Now, if you got an angle towards something like that, I have not mentioned Purdy's name not one time, and we've been on the air 35 minutes. I have not mentioned his name one time. And he said, the problem I got is you don't give credit. No, I'm not talking about Purdy. I didn't mention Purdy.
So you didn't say nothing earlier about the San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy, their quarterback?
That was me.
That was
that was
clear.
me.
That
Well,
wasn't
you
me.
Well, you
I
bad.
said, I said something about it.
Yeah, he said it. I
Well, I
did.
take it back. I take it back from T. Will and I put it on you, M. Clear.
I
the
put it.
same
I
thing.
said that. I said that about Purdy. I'm not betting on him no damn more is what I said. I ain't betting on him no more.
And Terry said, me neither.
No, I did not say me neither. I said, to be honest with you, I said he was in the same situation too. I said he stood up there and lost all the people that he had. He was losing people left and right. Now, why would I in my right mind? One thing about it, I hate him. I hate the team. But if you sit up there and lose your star running back and you go through your top 3 running backs that get injured, you sign Ayuk to a long-term deal. The best weapon he had to go to all year and who did a masterful job was the tight end.
Yeah.
The tight end, Kittle played his butt off this year. And to me, if it wasn't for him, the 49ers probably would have won 7 games, whatever they won. Kittle actually did it. And Purdy, to me, I'm going to tell you something. It was admirable for him to sit up there and do what he did under the circumstances that he was in. I like stuff like that, man. You still go out there and play. The man still gave effort, gave heart all the way till he got injured. I think the last game of the season or something, he hurt his finger or hand or something. He couldn't come back in the game.
Yeah,
he fought to the end. So he deserves his money. He deserves his money, and I'm sure he's gonna get his money.
Yeah, he's gonna get some. I don't know if he's gonna get more than that guy, but he's gonna be up there. He should be one in
They're paying
top 5 or 6. Yeah. So okay, we'll leave that alone. Did y'all think? Well, y'all had Baltimore going against Philly, and y'all had Baltimore beating Philly. Did y'all think Philly would dominate Kansas City the way that they did?
No way.
not
Just
dominate. No.
Their mystique alone. No. And you really want to be honest, I'm still puzzled in my mind how Baltimore didn't get there. They had the perfect formula. They had the perfect formula. I just don't get
everything.
Look, and you can't blame Derrick Henry.
No.
I forgot about that.
He did everything he was supposed to do.
He did everything and more. And guess who? What? The Cowboys had the chance to get him on that same contract. The guy wanted to come to Dallas. Remember we talked about that on the other show. He wanted to. He bought a house in Dallas. He wanted to be a part of the Cowboys.
He from the Texas area, right?
Yeah.
Well, he just sold it now. He said he sold it. The hell with that.
Yeah, he just sold. Yeah, he sold it.
He said he just sold it. He said, "Man, the hell with that, man."
I think
I don't get that, guys. I really don't. You got guys right in your backyard and these are not players that are maybe on the downhill or. Man, this dude is a superstar, man. You had a chance to get a superstar to replace, what you had, and you didn't go get it.
They probably would have did better keeping Tony Pollard, to be honest.
I said that.
Yes. I agree.
I said that.
Seeing what he did in Tennessee, they probably would have did better keeping him. But hey,
it's a being, but just let's go back to Baltimore just a little bit more. And I know we give him kudos. He's one of the most spectacular players in the league and all that. But when it comes down to the big games, he can't get it done.
I swear I was going to say, Terry,
he can't get it done.
The big playoff games.
Yeah, the big playoff games, he cannot get it done. And sometimes they have it, the home court advantage in their lap. He plays in the cold weather. He got a great running game. He got a good defense. It's him. He blows up, and he's a great player, but he blows up in the worst important games of the year. And I hate that for him.
You think it's the pressure?
It's got to. Well, no, he just don't come across to me as a guy that gets easily rattled or pressure. But what else could it be?
I mean, like sometimes they put it on. I know in the past they put it on the coach and like, you got Derrick Henry. Why you didn't run him 25, 30 times a game? Why you? I can't even remember how it went this year. I just was disappointed that they couldn't get the job done.
They had the number one rushing.
There they had tight ends, receivers. They had the running game. The line, offensive line was straight, man. The defense was probably the best in the AFC. What the fuck do you need?
Man,
you got everything.
They lost a couple of defensive players though,
but they still probably
they were still top five. They were still top five there. They were still top five. They were still top five. And the thing about it is that I get it when they say, hindsight is 20/20. You should have ran Derrick Henry this many times. If he rushes 20 times a game, your record is this and this and this and this. I like the different thing where you faking him and you doing the read options and all that stuff and all that. That's why Baltimore was the number one rushing football team, in the NFL. But I'm talking about in the big moments. Because it's not like that they get blowed out in the AFC Championship game. It always comes down to some buzzard luck or some bad play. And I'm sorry, you can't blame Derrick Henry for none of this. You can't blame Harbaugh. Harbaugh's still doing the same coaching job that he's done. Your defense is stopping people at the times they're supposed to be stopping them. It always comes down to 2 to 3 series down in the clutch, and he's not getting it done.
Well, was it him this time or was it Mark Andrews? Then Mark Andrews?
No. It was him.
I'm trying to remember. Wasn't that the game?
Andrews had a bad play, but come on, man. Everybody. I mean, what's the difference between Andrews' play and a quarterback throwing an interception or two? I mean, everybody going to make mistakes.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you catch it, maybe that changes the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
Lamar got you down there. Lamar got you down there, and he put the ball right where it's supposed to be at. The guy just missed the ball. So
I agree. But I just don't look at one series though. I'm not just talking about that. Just look at the fourth quarter period versus that one series.
No, what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You can play. We see it all the time. You can play bad for 3 quarters and come out the fourth quarter and light it up and come back and get a win. And that's basically what That's basically what they was going through, and that's what happened. So, should you start off better? Yeah, everybody. That's every sports that I've ever been a part of or watched or participated in. You always say, "Let's get off to a good start. Let's finish strong before the half. Come out the beginning of the second half. Let's start off strong. Let's finish strong." Well, so I mean, if you get him, I mean,
he threw 2 red zone interceptions when they was down there driving.
He did. But that's what I'm saying. But
one he could have ran.
Yes.
One of them he could have tucked it in and went on.
Yes, but he wants to play the Joe Montana pocket passer role when he could have sit up there and got, if not a touchdown, close to it.
Well, see, let's not play that game because at first everybody was talking about he can't throw. He run too much. All he do is run because he can't throw. So
what I'm saying, what we're saying is he's an elite quarterback that got to make damn plays. What's the difference between him and Mahomes? When you get Mahomes down the stretch like that, he gonna make the plays. He gonna make them. Whether he got to run that motherfucker, he ain't no runner.
He ain't no runner.
That man ain't even no runner. But if he got to make that play to get that first down, man, Jones is finna take off. Jones ain't. I'm finna force this motherfucker Travis Kelce.
But see, that's okay when you listen to what you just said. The defense, the defense ain't preparing for Patrick Mahomes to run the ball. So they preparing for Lamar Jackson to take off.
Yeah, but they ain't stopping him.
Yeah, but
preparing and stopping are two different things.
Yeah,
If you go back to
If you go back to that play
that me and Clear talking about, preparedness would have did nothing. The main sit up there had a full lane where he would have got at the least a 1st and goal.
Absolutely.
But I would have said a touchdown.
I'm gonna say this. We see it like that. Maybe he saw something we didn't see.
He may have, but that what make the great ones great. Okay. That's all we're saying. That's what make Mahomes. That's what made Brady. Any of them in that nature, that's what make them great. They gonna make that right play. I know I could throw this ball down there. Fuck that. I'm finna tuck it and get the first down and get what I can get. Live to play another down. That's what the great ones, you know that. That's what all of them did it. That's what they do. Now, I'm saying with Terry, and I'm agreeing, he in the regular season, he's unfucking stoppable. He gets in big games and have to make big plays. Hey, man, you don't never know what you're going to get out of him. And we've seen that time and time again. That's why they can't never win it.
And the bad part about it is, I play him in fantasy. The dude will get 6 touchdowns. He'll throw 4 touchdowns and run 2. I mean, just kill me. I do it in the regular season. Just kill me. But you can't get him to do that same thing in the big games. You just can't. And not saying that.
I get what you're saying though, Terry.
And not saying he bad. I love him. He's been great. He's been great for the game and all that. And I really was slick pushing for Baltimore. Hell, that's what me and Clear had to win the championship. So I was slick going for him, and I wanted Derrick Henry to get a ring. For all he sacrificed over there in Tennessee. So I was slick pulling for him. So it's not like I'm hating on him, but we got this show. We trying to be honest. We ain't going about who we like and who we don't like. I mean, it is what it is.
Where we at? I see you got puzzled on that. Me and Terry kind of double team you on that one. I saw you jump. Hey, I saw you jump your head, girl.
High five, Clear. Look, what me and you just did to him is what the defense did to the Baltimore quarterback when he didn't know how to run the ball and started trying to pass. Yeah. He was just as puzzled as Lamar.
No. Because I'm still, I get y'all point and I understand it, and I still say you ain't looking for Patrick Mahomes. I ain't gonna say you not looking that that he can run the ball, but he's not a runner. He run out of necessity. They did call a play for him to run the ball and he got a first. Yeah. But for the most part, ain't no teams looking for that. Ain't no team saying, okay, we better be careful because they're going to do a quarterback bootleg to the left and Patrick Mahomes going to take off. They ain't looking for that. So when they not prepared for that, it make him look that much better because it's wide open and nobody is the closest person is 10 to 15 yards away from him. Whereas when it's 4th and 2 and Lamar Jackson got the ball in his hand, you got to account for Lamar Jackson taking off.
Well, then the pass got to be there.
Well, some will be there.
But that's where I'm talking about. That's where, from a quarterback standpoint, he has to know that.
Well,
just like you saying on a 4th and 2, everybody know I'm either gonna give it to Derrick Henry or I'm gonna pull it and I may take off. Right? In the situation me and Terry talking about, the nigga had the lanes, man. You could have drove a damn 18-wheeler down through that motherfucker.
This ain't a family show, but it's kind of like a family show.
Yeah, it's a family show.
But
you see what I'm saying?
We do have Caucasians watching.
Oh, my bad. No, Europeans. My bad. My bad. Europeans.
Trust
but
me,
you get what I'm saying, Daryl. I know it's decision making as opposed to the skill of being able to do what Patrick Mahomes. It's just the decision making. He just got to make better decisions. To me,
well,
he got everything. Dude got everything. He can throw the ball. He can run it. I mean, his decision making sometimes in the clutch.
Well, that's just a matter. That's just a matter of maturity and him coming into his own. And Patrick Mahomes.
In the NFL, I don't know how much more maturity you're gonna get. You keep getting these opportunities. You're in the NFL now. I mean, these opportunities don't keep coming like that.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
sometimes you just have to wait. Sometimes it ain't,
Watch out for the Buffalo Bills, man. I think they got the start of something special, man. I
man.
really, really do.
Terry,
I
I
need,
I
I
put the
need to look.
screen up. I thought you was gonna catch my cue.
Oh, okay, yeah. As you can see, I know y'all just, our first time coming back after a long period of time, but we want to keep this show going and we want to build this fan base and all that. So if you could go to In the Clutch Sports Talking More podcast and you can like, share, and subscribe. And when you sit up there and subscribe, hit that notification bell. And not only hit that notification bell, make sure you get it where it selects all broadcasts, where you may be able to catch the sports talk show, or a couple of our other sub shows that we have going on as well. And for those that real fancy with your phone and all this, we have the QR code over there right below M Clear over there at the bottom over there. You can scan that. It'll take you directly to the page where you can do that. You can like, share, and subscribe. And just share it out to people, man. I mean, we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. We just getting back, and I know you guys want us to be consistent, so we're going to be consistent. Right, M Clear? Right, M Clear?
That's a guarantee.
Okay, you hear that, guys? It's guaranteed. So
If
we come back on the show and he didn't been missing the next year, on his ass I go. You know that, right, fan? Okay.
Hey, this is a family show, sir.
Okay, you're right. You're right. They'll bleep that out. But really, we're gonna have some fun.
This family show.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun this year. I mean, we're gonna you talk basketball, we're gonna talk sports, we're gonna talk boxing, we're gonna talk a little bit of some of everything right here. And even though these guys don't know about baseball, I'm a baseball expert. So I can talk baseball for those that want to come out there and ask you little baseball questions.
Hey, Ohtani.
Oh, see, everybody know him, so yeah, that's about the only name you know. But
no, not Mookie.
This man said Mookie Blaylock, Mookie Betts, man. Oh man, that man said Mookie Blaylock.
Who said Mookie Blaylock?
It's Daryl.
Because that was the basketball side of me that came out. When I said Mookie Blaylock, just automatically came Mookie Betts. I know who he is.
See, he got two people that unsubscribed just because of that. We talking baseball. This man said Mookie Blaylock. Said no, this ain't. Yeah, that's a comedy. That ain't sports talk. That's a comedy. Yeah. So we're gonna be able to talk about a lot of that. We're gonna do our fantasy teams, man. We're gonna do a lot of exciting stuff, and we probably gonna do some interactive stuff, with you, the fans, and all that type of stuff. And I'm sure we're gonna have some little giveaways, some prizes, and then you can also join us on the show sometimes. And you can actually come up here, ask one of us a questions, or give you your thoughts or opinions on stuff. So we're gonna make it interactive where it's not just us up here talking. We're gonna share it out there to you guys. But the only way we're gonna be able to do this is you gotta like, share, and subscribe. You gotta do that before you do anything. Like, share, and subscribe, and tell 5 friends to tell 5 friends. We're gonna tell 5 friends because part of it is our fault because we waited so long. So just bear with us. We're gonna be consistent, and we appreciate you.
Okay, let's end off. Let's end off, and I'll start it off with just a not a prediction for next year because we'll have a show for that later, but just kind of go over what your team is kind of going through right now. Of course, I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. First big news of the offseason, we traded Deebo Samuels. I'm mixed about that because I look at it like we weren't really using him the way that I think we should have been using him. I think that running the ball stuff, it got old and teams that caught on to it. So I think they should have just went back to just letting him be a receiver and get them yak yards. McCaffrey coming back next year looks like, but we let both of our backup running backs go. So I don't know what the plan is for that. Kittle's coming back, and we got another tight end from, was it the Jacksonville Jaguar? We got a tight end from somewhere, so I guess they're going to be splitting time between him and Kittle's. Quarterback situation, they don't know what they want to do as far as paying Brock Purdy. Ayuk is still on the trading block as of right now, but it's looking more and more like they're not gonna make a deal to trade him. So hopefully he'll be back. With Jawan Jennings and Ricky Purcell coming back, I'm okay with that receiving core, along with Kittles and McCaffrey. The defense, man, we let Greenlaw go. I can't believe Greenlaw gone. He gone. Our safety, who what's his name? Hufunga, he gone. I think Shavarius Ward gone. So I don't know what the plan is. Of course the draft coming up. So once the draft comes, we'll see what we pick up, what happens. But right now, I don't know. We got Robert Saleh back though as defense coordinator, so maybe the defense can step it up a little bit more, be a little more aggressive. We got Bosa coming back. I think they let Hargrove go, so we'll see. But I definitely won't be putting them down for 13-4 next year. But we'll see how the rest of the offseason goes for the 49ers.
Wow. Let's talk about my Steelers. Boy, you started off the season man, I thought we was on our way. And then we hit a lull. And boy, did we hit a lull. And now we're in a situation where we go out and we get a big play receiver, but then we get rid of two darn good quarterbacks, I think. I thought we should have kept at least one of them. We rolling the dice because we want to, 41-year-old man that done tore his Achilles and really, to me, hasn't really done that much in the league. He had a couple of years where he was okay. They won a Super Bowl and all that, but I ain't too thrilled about him. But we'll see if he signed. We don't even know if he's going to sign yet. So we're in a turmoil. We don't even have the leadership back there. Terry said it earlier. Without leadership, man, your team really sucks. And that starts at the head. But we got that, but we don't have that up under that center. So I think we gotta try to figure out what that's gonna do in the offseason. We gotta find somebody that can get that ball down to our playmakers. We got to show up our offensive line. They was horrible this year. You know, everybody want to put the blame on Russ. I'm gonna be honest with you. As a fan, I thought Russ did about as much as he could have done with that line that we had. That's me. I thought he did well, you know what I mean, considering, you know, what he had to go through. Defensive wise, man, we got to show up that back end up there. I hope that in the draft or during the offseason we can get some free agents in on that back end back there. Because we horrible back there talking about defending the pass. I mean, if Terry and them can go deep on us 6 doggone times in one game, you know we got problems. And they had a bag up quarterback. So, I mean, you know, it's not looking pretty good right now. I think coaching got to be a lot better. I don't think Mike Tomlin did a great job of coaching this year, to be honest with you. You know, I thought we had 2 quarterbacks that we could have did a dual role a little bit more. I don't think he really had a handle on how to handle that, honestly. You know what I mean? And so because you didn't have that handle on that, we lost both of them. So overall, I'm going to stay in the 9-10 ball range right now for his wins and losses. I'm going to stay in the 9-10 until I see what we do in the offseason. But that's my overview of my team. On to my guy, T. Will.
Man, we don't even have enough time to talk about the issues that we got over there on our team, man. And it goes back to start out with the health of our quarterback. How's that gonna be health-wise? Working with, you know, a new team. We lost our number 2 receiver in Cooks. He went back over there to New Orleans and signed a nice little deal over there to play over there. So I'm sure that's going to be one of our needs that we're going to look at, at the draft. All the turmoil and the dissension between DeMarcus Lawrence and Parsons. For those that don't know, DeMarcus Lawrence left and took a nice team-friendly deal to go and try to win somewhere. And, I don't think he was trying to throw any parting shots, but he mentioned, that he didn't feel like he could win a Super Bowl here. And Parsons,
Wow.
being Parsons, made a comment and saying, like, pretty much like, screw you and you suck and all that type of stuff right there. And DeMarcus Lawrence pretty much told him, so, man, if you spend as much time, working out and perfecting your craft as you do, tweeting and being on social media, man, I probably would have stayed. So, and I totally agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, he's a great player, but imagine how much greater he could be if he made football his number one focus. And, you see him on Dancing with the Stars. You see him he's on everything. He's doing everything. And I'm not pleased with that. And that goes back again to leadership, because you as a leader, I know you can't tell a person what to do in their own, personal time, but when you start giving these contracts and these incentives and stuff out, that comes with it. You are a leader of the team, so people are going to follow your lead. So, we got that going on. We lost we came in with pretty much no running back, and I think our running back did pretty good, as the season went on. I think he just barely got over 1,000 yards. But guess what? We let him go. Who do we go get? The Miles guy, the Miles guy that used to play for Carolina. And then we go get the backup running back for the Denver Broncos. Go figure. So we get,
Rico Dowd, that's who you're talking about?
Yeah, Rico Dowd's gone.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Rico Dowd is gone, and I think he did a hell of a job, especially going towards the end of the year. He ended up with like close to 1,100 yards, and he didn't even play the first 3-4 weeks. So he did, an admirable job. He was one of the bright spots we had this year. But imagine you sit up there and lose him, just like you lost Pollard. You didn't want to pay Pollard that money. You lose him, and then you go get 2 subpar running backs.
But ain't y'all? I know in some of the mock drafts they talking about y'all gonna get that boy from Boise State. So
Jeanty, yeah.
Ashton Jeanty.
What
pick are y'all? T-Will?
I want to say 8, 9-ish, somewhere up in there.
No, y'all the 11th pick, I think.
Oh, 11. Okay. Well, even though, but my thing is, I'm just not confident until we make the pick that we gonna pick him. I mean, that's who I would want. But I'm just saying, you just never know with the Dallas Cowboys. You're talking about a team that, Jerry Jones was about to select who? Baker Mayfield. Was it Baker Mayfield? And his son had to put his hand and stop his dad from putting in the ballot to get Baker Mayfield in order to get the offensive lineman.
That
wasn't Baker. That was who? What quarterback was that? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Johnny Manziel. Jerry Jones was just about to drop the ticket in there to get Johnny Manziel. And his son literally grabbed him by his hand and took it back. And we end up getting the offensive line. I think Zach Martin. I think we end up getting Zach Martin, who turned out going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame and all that. But that just leads me to sit up there and say this. We don't know what we want to do. Even though we say we're going to get Jeanty, I just don't see, Dak coming back and maybe another win or 2. I said we'll win 7. I still don't see us past 9 wins. So I'm giving Dak an extra 2 wins just by coming back. But, Dak got a habit of giving away a couple of wins, so it may even itself out and I'm back at 7. So, who knows? But, it's just not a good time to be a Dallas Cowboy fan right now. But I encourage y'all fans to stick with it. I'm not going to no more games until I see, progress. I hadn't bought a piece of material in 3 years. Still got plenty of. No, man, I'm not. We got to stop patronizing this man because he's just seeing the dollars. If we start hurting him in the pocket, then he'll start to understand. But until we do, I haven't been in a game in 3 years. And I used to go 3-4 games a year. I couldn't do it no more. I can't. If I see progress, I'm okay with losing and you got full 110% effort on the field, and you just lose. But we ain't got no kind of leadership. We ain't got no accountability. If somebody screw up, you know you're gonna start the next game because the coaches ain't gonna yank you for the next guy and give him a chance. We just don't do that, man. They just live for the star on their helmet. So I'm just gonna stop right there because, like I said, I can go another 30, 45 minutes with them cats, but I won't give them any more than 9. But we won't get deep into the predictions, and like he said, until we do our preseason prediction show. But that's where I stand with the Dallas Cowboys.
And with that, I think that's a good close to the show. Predicting is always fun. It just sucks when you get them mostly wrong. That's for sure. But we're going to come back. We're going to have a prediction show for the 25-26 season. And hopefully, I mean, we need Mike, you don't play fantasy, do you?
Yeah.
We need to get you over here on our fantasy in our fantasy league, and so we can really talk
Yeah, that'll
fantasy.
be good. That'll be good. All of us in the same league. Then we really can.
Yeah, then we can kind of compete and kind of
trash talk and all that good stuff.
Trash talk and all that good stuff. I ain't want to say trash talk, but yeah, you know,
man, you got to trash talk. That's part of fantasy.
You know, that's what it come down to.
Winning money and trash talking is the 2 best attributes of fantasy sports. So that's why as soon as we get off the phone right now, I got to go check on my fantasy players. You know, it's fantasy baseball season for me. So these games back up and rolling. My Philadelphia Phillies is starting off good. We're playing the Yankees today. So, you know,
man, you a Philly fan?
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of folks rag me because I'm a Philly fan and a Sixer fan. So I'm a Philly fan in basketball and baseball, but I'm a Dallas fan, the hated rival in football. A lot of people say they don't understand it, but it is what it is. I'm a Charles Barkley, Julius Erving fan. Okay. Those are my favorite players. I can take that. Back in the day. So that's where, and then Mike Schmidt, arguably the greatest third baseman in history of baseball, played for the Phillies back in the late 70s, early 80s. So I've been a fan of them. So I'm a loyalist. So
man, you did all that and you ain't Birdsong didn't get a hold to you.
No, we'll talk about that. I told Darryl about my you don't even know it was after your time, but I actually, you know, all 3 of us actually can say we played for the Treadwell Eagles, you know. But we'll talk. Darryl know what I'm talking about. That's why I laugh. But we'll talk about that later. So we all yeah 24 hours, but I was on there. So
that man, that crazy.
So we'll get a chance to discuss that and all that type of stuff. So
yeah. Hopefully, we definitely get a chance to talk about that with a special guest. We working on some stuff. We working on it. We get this. It's gonna be something big that y'all definitely gonna want to watch. But we over an hour. I wanted to go at least an hour. I didn't want to go over too much, so we're at 107 now. So we can go ahead and end the show. We appreciate, you know, we recording and we putting it out. So anybody who gets a chance to watch it, we appreciate you taking the time out to watch it. And like Terry said, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, we love doing this, but we need to get the subscribers up. We need y'all input on what can make the show better, what you want to talk about, what would interest you, all of this stuff. Just let us know, and I guarantee you, whatever it is that you want, we gonna definitely put forth the effort to produce the type of show that, you know, the fans want to watch and see. I think we got a good crew here, a good mix of teams, rivalry teams at that. We all know each other. We all went to high school. Well, we went to the same high school. Clear a little bit older than me, so I didn't get a chance to go to high school with him, but he was a mentor to me, someone I really look up to. Terry was always in the stands, ragging on us. So
man,
getting on their ass, man. I tell them it's time to play, and they did that for the most part until goddamn East come to town. Yeah, that's another show. We'll talk about that later.
That's a story within itself. That's a whole show.
We're gonna get some more of them old Treadwell players on here too. But with that being said, we're gonna end the show. I don't know when we coming back. Hopefully soon. We don't want to wait no 3 or 4 months before we come back with another show, because I know tonight my Duke Blue Devils playing the Houston Cougars for a chance to go to the championship game. So I'm hoping that Duke can pull it out tonight. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about tonight.
Are y'all root for Florida, man? Please root for Florida, because the way I calculated, if Florida wins tonight and beats Auburn, I'll Roach Pool.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't. You
if Duke, no.
I already did.
You already get 24 points for the championship game.
You get 32 for the championship game. You get 32 plus the seed.
Right, that's 33.
Exactly. So
if I'm about 40 now, and if Florida go to the championship and Duke go to the championship, we break even with those points. And by you getting 33 points, and I'm up for more than that, you can't pass me.
I already did the math.
Okay, all right, okay, if you say so.
I already did the math. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and look, because if
you go back and look again, if you're down by 40, there's no way you can catch me if both of us win today. If Florida and Duke win today, if Florida and Duke wins today, we break even with points. If you are down by more than 34 points,
what you mean we break even with points?
Because they both are number 1 seed, they both get the same amount for going to the championship game. They both get 16 points apiece. So we break even. If Duke win and Florida win, they both get the same amount of points, the 16 plus the seed. They both are number 1 seed. You break even there. So which means the score is pretty much the same. Trust me, son, you better look again. And you get 32 for the championship, you get 1 for the seed, that's 33. So if I currently got more than a 33-point lead right now, and we both win today, you cannot beat me. Go look at it again, sir. What you need to be hoping is you ain't down by more than 33. That's what you need to be hoping. You see, you got to look at that phone, don't you?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm right. He already calculated. I have calculated too.
I calculated too. You said I need to be down by what?
If you down to me right now by more than 34 points, you can't catch me.
Let me see where I'm at.
No, 33 points, because you get 32 for the win, you get 1 for the seed, 33. So if you down by more than 33.
No. Which bracket you looking at? Because you got Houston beating Duke.
That's not what I'm saying, Daryl. It doesn't matter about the Houston Duke. If Duke wins,
hold on.
Wait, listen, hear me out.
Listen to me. If Duke win, that means I get 16 points, right? No,
yeah.
I get 17, right?
Yeah.
If Florida win, I get 17, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting 17 points that you're not getting, because if Duke beat Houston, you don't get them 17 points.
Oh, so you telling me you got Florida on that side?
I got Florida and I got Duke. I got Florida and Duke meeting in the championship game. That's 30. That's 34 points right there compared to your 17.
Okay, so and how many you down? How many you down? How many you down?
Listen to what I'm saying. So now I'm 17 points closer to you if it happened like that. So then if Duke win the championship, that means I'm more points than you, because I get 33 more points.
How many you down now? How many you down now?
38.
Hey. Well, you know what? You're right then. Even if you do that, we both going for Florida, and let's go for Houston. So I put it like this.
No, Houston, I'm going for Duke. What you talking about?
So if Houston win, it's pretty much my pool.
I don't know, because somebody else got Houston too. I don't know. All I know is I need, and this is a football show. I need Duke.
This ain't no football show. This ain't a sports show.
It's a sports show.
I need Duke and Florida to win today, and I need Duke to win Monday night, and I'll win the pool.
Oh, okay.
And Terry's saying if you lose to Houston, and Florida wins, then he automatically takes over.
Ain't nobody gonna better beat me because I got Houston and Florida going to the championship. I got Houston and
That's what
Florida.
I say.
going to
If
the
Houston
yeah.
and Florida go to the championship, if
Yeah.
both of them go, if Houston beat
Hold
Duke,
on. Unless
Unless who was the closest person with Houston?
that's what I'm finna tell you. He might be. He like. I don't know. He might be too far away.
How many points he got?
He 44 behind. I don't
He
think
toast. He toast. He toast. He toast.
Yeah, because he got yeah.
the most he gonna get is 33, ain't
He
he
toast. When
win-
Darryl said 40 something, he tost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
the most he can get is 33 out of this.
So me and Darryl got a good chance. So we root for different. Well, no, we both root for Florida. We both root for Florida.
If Auburn win, I'm out. If Auburn win, I'm out. That's all I know. If Auburn win, I need Duke and Florida. And
no, it ain't. If Auburn wins, we both out.
And then Daniel be in.
This is a child friendly show.
You would have to. Hey, Duke would have to beat Houston for the other cat would win, right?
No, Daniel in a good spot.
Daniel got Houston. He got Houston and Florida in the championship game. So, and he got
another pick. He got another pick in there too.
He got Auburn and Houston in there. So
yeah.
He got some good sheets. You got
to give him credit, man. He's a picking joker, man.
Yeah, he do be picking.
So I can't hate on him for that. But like I said, I'd rather see one of us win it, preferably me. But like I said,
right.
I'm trying to get pumped up for the game, man, because I've been running through the tournament, man. I would do like the Cowboys. You start off good and they make you cry at the end, man. I've been in first place since day one. Yep. All the way to the end.
He got all them. He got all them upsets right the first round. Yeah, he got all. I was like, man, this lucky mother, because I was scared to pick. I picked 1 or 2. Yeah, I was scared to pick him. I was like, man, But since then, like he got 50 correct picks, and I got 49 correct picks.
Wow.
So that's why them seed points. That's why them upsets. That's what make it a good tournament. I love the seed points because it don't make you sit up and say, "Well, I got to pick the favorite." If you can think, one of the 12-5 matchups or 13-4 may come through. You ain't scared to do it because you win both ways. You win the game and then you get those seed points for it. So it makes it fun to me.
I know this for another show right quick, but I'm gonna ask this question, man. How many of y'all had the University of Memphis?
With that being said,
that's all I wanted to ask. I mean,
I didn't have them going out the first round, so I was good.
Really?
Yeah.
I had them put out the second round. I just least thought Penny could get over the first round.
Clear. If it wasn't a 12-5 matchup, I probably would have gave him the first round. That's the dreaded 12-5 matchup. For the last 10 years, 15 years, a 12 has beat a 5. And I think 2 12s beat 5s this year.
They did. That's
so,
crazy.
Hey, man, you ain't supposed to pick against your home team.
Dude, I try to. I'm going by. I don't care who you is. I don't care who you is. If I'm in the pool, I don't care who you is. You know how many times I picked against Dallas in the football season?
Well, that was easy this year.
Yeah, that was easy.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and close. We're gonna go ahead and close this show out. We'll be back. We can't wait to be back. So I hope you enjoyed this show and looking forward to more. But we're out of here.
All right, take care. Happy Saturday.